Today, I want to share with you a watch that I absolutely love, I'm excited about, but I'm also kind of torn on. There's some things that I don't like about this watch. This watch is perfect for a select group of people. It's not necessarily geared toward the classic watch collector. So I'm interested to hear if you agree with my take or if you think I'm absolutely wrong. Please sound out in the comments section throughout this video. Now, this, of course, is the Seamaster Professional James Bond 60th Anniversary Edition that came out a couple years ago. And at least aesthetically, it is very faithful to that OG Brosnan Bond Seamaster that was made famous just after 1995's GoldenEye film. And admittedly, that was my first quote unquote nice Swiss watch. I bought the quartz version years and years ago, and I was just on cloud nine as I wore that thing around as a young adult. I thought it was the nicest watch ever. And so I have some nostalgia for this 60th anniversary edition because I love how they've nailed the wave pattern. They've nailed the blue color. This is a faithful recreation in some ways, but in other ways, it's completely different. It's a little bit of a bigger watch. It has a proud box sapphire crystal. This has a lollipop style seconds hand. This is a no-date execution, and the bezel insert is fully loomed, which I'm a huge fan of. Now, instead of a traditional pip in the bezel, this has the 60 index, and that is just a shout out to being the 60th anniversary of James Bond appearing in film. So really cool watch. Obviously, if you love James Bond, you're probably going to love this watch. If you're a huge fan of that OG Brosnan Bond Seamaster, you're probably going to love this watch. Now, where does it kind of fall off the rails from a watch collector standpoint? Let me first shout out Exquisite Timepieces. They are the sponsor of today's video. They lent in this Seamaster as well as this new release Seamaster, which is incredibly similar. We're going to be comparing these here in just a minute. But Exquisite is an awesome place to buy an Omega watch. They actually carry 60 different brands. I've personally bought from this family-owned AD multiple times over the years. So if you're shopping a new watch, I recommend Exquisite, and a link is below. Now, going back again, where does this kind of go wrong from a watch collector standpoint? I think showing these two side by side really illustrate the difference because they're essentially the same watch. They have the same style bezel action, the same dimensions, the same finishing, the same tapering mesh bracelet. They have the same movement. They have the same crystal. They have a lot of presence in person. One cost $6,800 and one cost $8,800. So there's a $2,000 price premium if you want the James Bond version. And honestly, that's a lot to pay just for nostalgia's sake if you love that OG Seamaster. Or maybe you're just a huge James Bond fan and you collect various memorabilia and merchandise. You're really going to have to pay a lot of money extra for this watch. But remember this, keep this in your perspective. People watching this video right now, they're watch enthusiasts first. Most of them are at least. And most watch collectors will naturally balk at this price, at this premium, but James Bond does bring in buyers to Omega. It is why they pay to be the character's watch in films. This is why Omega sponsors the Olympics. These entities, these franchises, they bring in new customers, which is just vital when you're a big business and you're trying to make a lot of money and gain market share in what is a very competitive luxury market. So, would I like to see a non-James Bond anniversary version with this wave pattern, with this color, with this movement, with this mesh at $6,800 as opposed to $8,800 with a special presentation box and a special crystal? Yeah, I would rather have a cheaper version that doesn't have the James Bond tie-in. But again, I might not be the perfect target demographic for this particular model. And maybe Omega does it in the future. Maybe when a new James Bond movie comes out and they do a new watch release, maybe they also do a just standard non-limited version in this wave color and everything, I think that would be awesome. But let me know what you think about that. Tell me if I'm on base. Tell me if I'm out in left field. And also, let me tell you what I would love to see Omega do. The watch reissue that I am just craving happens in the next year or two. That would be an electric blue Seamaster Professional. Give me that watch in a modern Seamaster with the Meta certified movement, with the tapering mesh, and I'll be first in line to purchase. That is such a dynamic watch. It's one of my favorites from years and years ago. So forgive my poor pun here, but that reissue would be electric, and I would absolutely love that. Now, let me kind of end this video by talking about a few things about this particular Seamaster Professional. This has a Meta-certified 8806 movement inside. I think this is an awesome movement for use in a daily driver type of watch. It's accurate, it's shock resistant, it's magnetic resistant. It's a very beautiful watch, which unfortunately you can't really see here in this James Bond version because of the spinning gun opening sequence that is kind of screened here on the crystal case back. You definitely see a contrast when you compare it to this chrome PVD version of the Seamaster. Now, this aluminum bezel insert is hardened, and it should be about twice as hard as a standard aluminum bezel that you buy from a competing brand. I think that's a good thing. I also enjoy the thinner side profile when you compare this to a standard ceramic Seamaster Professional. The crystal sits proud, the bezel is a little bit thinner. Overall, I think the proportions I think they just look more aesthetically pleasing. And overall, this watch, it's dynamic, but it's also muted. In some lights, it kind of looks black, it kind of looks navy, and then you angle it just right and you see the wave pattern, and it's exciting. So I think it's a good watch that keeps attention long enough while still being versatile, and could be used as a daily driver for years and years to come. Now, I also love this 42 millimeter size. I don't think this watch should be downsized. The Seamaster has always been a large tool watch. I think it looks great in 42. I also think it looks great in 43, which I owned in the black ceramic a couple years ago. So don't come at me saying this needs to be under 40 millimeters, because I just don't agree with you at all on that aspect. But what could be improved with this watch? I definitely think it needs better ARC, and ARC stands for anti-reflective coatings. So, when I look at this, it's pretty, yes, it's functional, it's not a deal breaker, but I like at-a-glance legibility that's improved. I like seeing the details of the dial to a higher degree of clarity, unobstructed by reflections, or at least minimizing the reflections. So that's one point of this watch that definitely could be improved. And again, going back to where this kind of falls off the rails for some of us watching this video, if I were a big Bond fan, I would not want to change anything about this watch, but I'm not the biggest Bond fan. I'm just a watch enthusiast. I'm a crazy watch collector. So from that standpoint, give me this dial, give me this color in a non-James Bond version that's a standard production version, maybe with a closed case back, maybe with an open case back, and give it to me at a $2,000 cheaper price point. I would be all about that. But one area where I would pay a little bit more for would be an upgraded movement. I like this 8806, but I love the 8900 more with the time zone hours feature. That would be perfection if they placed that in a new generation of the Seamaster, and maybe that electric blue. That might be the ultimate Omega for me. Honestly, though, this watch is perfect for James Bond fans. This watch is perfect for those that are nostalgic for that OG Bond Seamaster from 30 years ago. This is a very nice watch quality-wise, but you just have to pay that $2,000 price premium. Let me know what you think about that. Thank you for watching today. Please reach out with any questions you have, like this video, and please subscribe for more content like this. Thanks.